Dear learners, I'm Ankita Peter, counselor from DPS Expressway, and in this program we will learn about motivation and emotion. Have you noticed how each one of us is busy in one or the other activity? We try our best to achieve certain goals, and if some difficulty comes in the way, we feel frustrated. Not only that, we also feel happy, sad, angry, or violent. The former aspects refer to motivation and the latter refer to different types of emotions. Also, after learning about motivation and emotion, one will be able to define the concept of motive and needs, understand goal-directed behavior, describe the different aspects of emotion, and explain the role of emotion in organizing behavior. Now, nature of motivation. Have you wondered, why does your father or mother go to work every day? Why do you study for long hours? Why do you like to play with your friends? Or why does your mother stay up the whole night and care for you when you are feeling unwell? Each of these questions has an answer, and there is a reason or motive behind each. Motives, wants, needs, interests, and desires help explain our movement towards the chosen goals. A need or motive directs us to act or behave in a particular way towards a certain goal. Thus, your mother looks after you because of the affection and concern she has for you as a child. Now, the concept of motivation. Motivation plays an important role in directing human behavior. There are certain characteristics of motivation, which is, it pushes us to reach the goals we have set for ourselves. In order to reach our goals, we need to be aroused or feel active. However, too little arousal, that is dull or relaxed, or over-arousal, that is withdrawing from the target, can be damaging. Hence, we need to maintain an optimum level of arousal. Motivation is the result of the person's thought and expectations. It is of two types. Number one, intrinsic. Intrinsic motivation, which means it comes from within the person and not for any benefits. Like, for example, people engage in charity or pro-social behavior because they feel from within. In extrinsic motivation, the second form of motivation is extrinsic motivation, which is based on external rewards, such as getting reward for punctuality, etc. In our life, both of these types are important. Now, we will look into the hierarchy of needs. According to psychologist Abraham Maslow, there are several levels of needs that each person must strive to meet before he or she can achieve the highest level of personal fulfillment. Thus, a person must be able to fulfill the primary biological needs at the lowest level as indicated. Once these needs are met, then safety becomes important, followed by need to belong and to love and to be loved. If we succeed in satisfying the mentioned needs, then we feel the need to have self-esteem, confidence, and feeling of self-worth. Next comes the cognitive needs, which include need for knowledge and understanding, followed by need for order and beauty. Finally, a person moves towards reaching the full potential called self-actualization. Such a person has the qualities of self-awareness, is socially responsive, and is open to the challenges of life. Lower level needs, which is physiological in the hierarchy, dominate as long as they are unsatisfied. Once they are adequately satisfied, the higher needs occupy the individual's attention and effort. However, it must be noted that very few people reach the highest level because of most people are concerned more with the lower level needs. Primary needs. Need refers to a lack of something that is necessary for us. Motives or needs are characterized in terms of primary and secondary needs or motives. Important primary needs are biological needs such as hunger, thirst, oxygen, rest, sleep, temperature regulation, warmth, and many more. The starting point of many biological needs is an imbalance in the psychological conditions of our body. Our body tries to maintain a state of balance called homeostasis. This balance is crucial. There must be enough water content in our body. Body temperature must not be high or too low. Glucose levels must be adequate, and so on. Without maintaining this balance, we would not be able to function properly in our daily life activities. Now, influence of culture and environment on our primary needs. Do you know that our biological needs such as hunger are influenced by environmental factors? Like for example, a person who enjoys having a pizza will want to eat it even if not hungry. Also, when it is dinner time or your mother calls out for dinner, you are likely to feel hungry. The smell and attractive appearance of food may also make you feel hungry. Secondary needs. This need leads to psychological or social motives. They are called so as they are learned in social groups, particularly the family. Some common social motives are achievement, to strive for success and excellence and carry out difficult tasks. Affiliation, to seek and enjoy the company of others, to make friends. Power, to strive for impact on others, to influence, control and persuade others. Nurturance, to help and take care of others such as children, elderly or sick persons. Aggression, to fight, forcefully overcome opposition, to hurt and ridicule. Exploration, to seek a variety of stimulation to explore novel things. Now, let us see an example of social motive. You know Mother Teresa and her concern for the poor, sick and helpless made her open the Missionaries of Charity in 1950. It provides food for the needy and runs schools, hospitals, orphanages, youth counseling centers and homes for lepers and the dying. Her concern for others makes her high on the need of nurturance. Nature of emotions. Have you ever felt happy while enjoying a movie or sad after an argument with your best friend? It's all because of emotions. Emotions influence our everyday behavior. Let us see an example. Simi is very happy. Her examination result has been declared today and she has topped the class. She is feeling euphoric. However, her friend Pratik is feeling sad as he has not done quite well, and among her other friends, some are feeling jealous of Simi's achievement. Ram has not performed up to his expectation. He is angry with himself. He feels unhappy that his parents would be very disappointed. Do you know? Joy, sorrow, hope, love, excitement, anger, hate, and many such feelings are experienced in the course of the day by all of us. The term emotion is often considered synonymous with the terms feeling and mood. Feeling. Feeling denotes the pleasure or pain dimension of emotion, which usually involves bodily functions. Mood is an affective state of long duration but of lesser intensity than emotion. Both these terms are narrower than the concept of emotion. Emotions are a complex pattern of arousal, subjective feeling and cognitive interpretation. Emotions, as we experience them, move us internally, and this process involves physiological as well as psychological reactions. Also, emotion is a subjective feeling and the experience of emotions varies from person to person. In psychology, attempts have been made to identify basic emotions. It has been noted that at least 6 emotions are experienced and recognized everywhere. These are anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and surprise. Functions of emotions. Emotions play several important functions in our lives. Emotions prepare us for action. When you see a person with a gun coming towards you, the emotion of fear and the accompanying bodily changes will help you run away from the situation. Emotions help arrange our activities and future behavior in some order. Emotions help us to gather information and increase our chances of making the right response in the future. When a person threatens us, we will try to avoid meeting that person out of fear. Positive emotions can act as reinforcement, such as wanting to repeat an action which brought us praise and joy. Emotions help us interact effectively with others. When we show our emotions, other people watching them may come to be familiar with our way of behaving and know how we are likely to act again in the future. Similarly, others emotional expressions help us understand how to behave with them. Emotion has three basic components or parts. Physiological changes, that is the first one, like increase in the heart rate, blood pressure, rapid breathing, etc. Number 2, behavioral changes and emotional expressions. These can be observed and noticed. The 6 primary emotions recognized mostly by people are fear, anger, sadness, surprise, disgust and happiness. Number 3, emotional feelings. Emotion also includes feelings which is shaped by past experiences and culture. Labeling of a feeling is shaped by past experiences and the culture one belongs to. Cognition, that is the 4th one, also plays a very important role in understanding of the situation. Some psychologists feel that we feel whatever we think, while others believe that our emotional reactions are so fast that thinking about a situation does not arise. Most of the times we feel a mixture of emotions. For example, when a person wins a lottery, she may show the emotions of shock, disbelief, surprise and joy. We are also familiar with each other's feelings and know what it means to him or her. Hence, you know when your friend is happy to receive a gift and sad when you have had an argument with her. However, your experience of emotions of joy and fear is different from your friends. Going for a walk may provide you with pleasure, whereas for your friend, a hug from her mother gives the feeling of pleasure. The meaning a feeling has for you or your friend is influenced by past experiences and memories. Emotions and culture. Do you know that the behavior of people from various countries is different? For example, Japanese tend to show very little emotional display as compared to the Italians. Also, in everyday life, information from the environment influences our understanding of what facial expressions mean. In much the same way, cultural context also acts as a cue when people are trying to interpret facial expressions. People can attend to only a small number of the available cues in their complex and continuously changing environments. And increasing evidence suggests that people from different cultural backgrounds allocate their attention very differently. This means that people from different cultures may interpret the same social context in very different ways. For example, in many Asian cultures, social harmony is prioritized over individual gain, whereas Westerners in much of Europe and the United States prioritize individual self-promotion. Research has shown that individuals from the United States are more likely to express negative emotions such as fear, anger and disgust, both alone and in the presence of others, while Japanese individuals are more likely to do so only while alone. Role of emotion and motivation in human behavior. Both motivation and emotion are distinct concepts, but are closely related and connected. Separating the two is a difficult task. Any situation that brings about a strong emotion is likely to motivate you to either repeat it or to avoid it. Thus, motivation and emotion are forces that push us towards actions. Like for example, the emotional feelings of love and affection your parents have towards you also motivate them to care for you. Also, both motivation and emotion move, activate and help control and plan human behavior. The feeling part of emotion has a motivational component. It helps us to get what we want and to avoid what we do not want in life. And emotions can serve as motives. For example, a frightened child may cry out for help and seek comfort and security from a loved one, such as a mother or a father. Now let us summarize this topic and see what we have learned. Concept of motivation focuses on explaining what moves behavior. In fact, the term motivation is derived from the Latin word movere, referring to movement of activity. It is of two types: intrinsic, which means it comes from within the person, extrinsic motivation, which is based on external rewards. According to psychologist Abraham Maslow, there are several levels of needs that each person must strive to meet before he or she can achieve the highest level of personal fulfillment. The primary needs are the biological needs such as hunger, thirst, oxygen, rest, sleep, temperature regulation, warmth, and many more. The secondary needs are the needs that lead to psychological or social motives. Emotions are a complex pattern of arousal, subjective feeling, and cognitive interpretation. The components of emotion. Emotion has three basic components, which are the physiological changes like increase in heart rate, blood pressure, rapid breathing, etc. Behavioral changes and emotional expressions. These can be observed and noticed. Emotional feelings. Emotion also includes feeling which is shaped by past experience and culture. Labeling of a feeling is shaped by past experiences and the culture one belongs to. Cognition also plays a very important role in understanding of the situation. People from different cultures may interpret the same social context in very different ways. Both motivation and emotion move, activate, and help control and plan human behavior. The feeling part of emotion has the motivational component. I wish you a happy learning and hope that this was helpful for you in your learning and gaining knowledge. Happy learning. Thank you.